Alright. It's the ride home. Alright, okay, busted the Christians' tiny little gnat nuggets this morning, but, where would I be if I did not spend any time getting after the Hebrew roots movement? Because, part of the problem that the Christians have with the Hebrew roots people is they come off kind of effete to keep it mild, and excuse me, and maybe that doesn't come with a bit of any kind of a shock, but a lot of guys in the Hebrew roots movement, man, you really got to knock it off with the Torah terror. You guys, you get like that. You're Torah terrorists. You think just because the Spirit has brought you into a greater and deeper understanding of the truth, and then you have the whole book, but somehow you're better than other people. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you actually feel that way, but it's the way you present yourselves. And it's no wonder why a lot of Christians can't come out of the error that they have, because they see you guys, bashing the church, and not even necessarily bashing them, but you bash the church, and you bash everything that that they believe and that they stand for, and so it comes off as a personal attack. It really does. And I know I've had to deal with it in my life personally. I had to deal with a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of, needing somebody to blame for all my error. And when it really comes down to, I didn't read my own Bible. I didn't come to my own conclusion. But you can't go on acting like an asshole about it. We're supposed to love our brother. We're only responsible for the amount of information that we can handle, and that we can receive, and that we can use to change our lives and better ourselves. This has nothing to do with keeping commandments. Keeping commandments is a good thing, but that's not what's saving you. I think some of you know that, but I think others, you don't realize that it was the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, that brought you to that realization. And you get so caught up in the minutia of figuring out what this commandment means and what that commandment means, and trying to make greater meaning than what is on the printed page, that you end up becoming more pharisaical than you were before you left the church. You become more pharisaical than the guys who created Pharisaism in the first place. It's ridiculous. And so you push people off instead of bringing people together at the same table. You end up putting people off. Nobody wants to deal with you. And we're supposed to, treat everybody with love. The first century, when you were bringing people into the faith, there were only 4 things you needed to abstain from: sexual immorality, meat strangled, meat sacrificed to idols, and idolatry. I mean, it's pretty simple. The rest of it, you can go, you can get in the synagogue. the church. But, you know, I mean, those four things, the church has got completely screwed up. I mean, especially the sexual immorality thing. I mean, now we're letting just everybody in. But that doesn't make you any better, Hebrew roots people, because I know the pornography's off the charts in the Hebrew roots movement just as much as it is in the Christian church. You don't tell me otherwise, because I know. I've been there. You know, it's not just simply come down to not having sex with everything with legs. It does come down to the heart condition that leads you to having sex with everything on legs. And the divorce and the adultery is just as off the charts in the so-called Hebrew roots movement. How does anybody take you guys seriously if you have all the same problems that the church and the secular world have? You can sit there and talk Torah all day. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make you any better than anybody. Doesn't make you understand anything any better. Doesn't mean that the Spirit's even with you. The Spirit might have brought you to that point, but you certainly didn't stay with it, now did you? The problems are just the same. You're no better. Just because you wear a kippah, wear all the regalia and the paraphernalia, doesn't make you any better. You're still in the same spot you were before you left the church. You brought all your baggage into the Hebrew roots movement with you. Nothing's changed. You learn a couple idioms, and now all of a sudden you call yourself rabbi instead of pastor. Come on. Now, I hate to sound like I'm pointing the crude finger, the big finger at everybody, but come on, I'm trying to bring unity. Every time I turn around, I got some schmo trying to give me his take on my relationship with the Creator. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Hebrew Rootsville or Christian church. I always got somebody going, hey man, I got this great book. It gives you great commentary on the Bible. And to which I always respond the same. You know, I'm going to read my Bible, and it will more likely give me the commentary on your guys' book. I don't have any rabbi except Messiah. I don't have any other master except the King of the universe. I don't go around calling anybody great one. There is no pastor but Messiah for me. Oh, well, you limit yourself and you're forsaking the assembly. Maybe that's a good thing. It's a really harsh attitude. But I know that there are brothers out there like me who have a passion for the truth. And I'm not just talking about, what's his name in St. Louis. Because even he's got errors. I've got errors. We've all got errors. We got to start forgiving each other. Stop bashing each other with doctrine and dogma. Because I'm telling you, Satan's house has their act together. What's your problem? Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Oh, except this. And you guys, you sacred namers, you guys make me really mad. You think that people, just because, you know, they've lost their salvation because they don't pronounce the name the right way. Whether it's a Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahovah, you guys are all kicking each other in the balls over minutia. Give me a break. Oh, you said God instead of Elohim. You're just of the devil. No, see, I've been down that road. I know how intolerant that can become. You know, I started out that way. Okay? When I started walking this way, I went all the way. And then I realized, you know what? You've lost the love. And what does Paul say about losing the love? If you have not love, you have nothing. You're worse off than you were at the first. So, I'm sorry if I'm stomping on your mini mincemeats, but give me a break. You guys have got to start forgiving each other. You guys have got to start working together. But I understand that it's going to take severe pressure for anybody to start getting along with his brother. I get it. Because everybody's too caught up in their own bullshit to see that there's a whole wide world of believers out there that need help. Not one of us has all the answers, and we need to work together. Everybody's got their piece of the puzzle. Everybody's got their little thing to contribute. And there should not be any of us lording himself over another. So the thing I hold against the church, I hold doubly against the Hebrew Roots movement, because you should know better.